Hi, Rolo. I've been continually improving my entire life, but with it came a lot of jealousy from both friends and family. How do I deal with them? And how do I build social circle if people are envious? What's your take? Okay. So when you, and thank you for the super chat. I have no idea what KAR currency is, but I'm sure it's something. When you sort of unplug, when you become quote unquote red pill, people will resist that, because what it is it's you initiating a change in your own life. And people will always tell, like, first thing out of people's mouths, especially people who know you, will say, you're trying to be something you're not. You're a poser, right? You're trying, oh, look, suddenly he's goth, right? You're like, oh, you were a preppy. How come you're goth now, right? They see this sort of radical shift. And I think that that's one of the things that guys who, like, if you read my work, or it doesn't have to be my work, you read Ryan Stone, you read whoever, right? And you kind of say, oh, this is my red pill moment. Okay, well, fine, good. I'm happy for you. Then welcome, brother, one of us. But there's going to be a point where your friends are going to go, you're trying to be something you're not. Just be yourself. How come? What happened to you? Oh, you're a misogynist now? Oh, you believe all that crap? People will try to put doubt in your head, and not about like the red pill. They'll put it about yourself. You're not really like this. And the reason why people do that is primarily they want to see predictability in you. Because if you are predictable, reliable, old crits, if you're the guy, if that's what they've learned to come to expect and predict that your personality is going to be like, and this is what you're really about, you're going to meet resistance, especially with your family and your close friends. And that's why I always tell guys, like, don't try to initiate something that's really a radical shift, like really, really fast, because people are less likely to sort of accept sort of like what you're doing as far as like changing your own personality, changing your mind about yourself. Right? And so I would, if I have to give advice, right, I'll give you some suggestions really. When you get into the position of sort of changing your mind about intersexual dynamics, changing your mind about men's nature, women's nature, sort of rejecting what sort of blue pill, the world has sort of told you how things ought to work, the old set of rules, right? Tell you how things ought to work. And then you realize that that's not actually the way things are going. You can't just jump into it with both feet without having somebody call you out for it and say, you're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to be a poser, right? And then really resist that. The reason for that is, of course, they want to see predictability in you. They want to be able to, it's really a form of control if you think about it. They want you to go back to being the way you were. You really can't, because once you put the red pill lens on, you don't get to take them off. But people don't like that, especially people who are uninitiated to like my work or Ryan's work or gosh, I don't even know who else. Like, people want to say, like, I think a lot of people sort of want to call like the red pill, like what Myron and Fresh are doing. And Myron actually, I think, is a fairly good representative of the red pill. But when they see that, what will happen is you'll have guys who are like in your family. And by the way, it mostly will be men who want to change you back to the way you used to be. It won't be women. I mean, women, maybe they'll think, oh, he's just a misogynist. Women will just be indifferent to you. They don't give a flying fuck. Like, fuck him. I'm out. Right. Guys are the ones who will give you the most grief, because that forces them to consider things and connect dots that you've already connected, and they don't really want to. That puts them in a very uncomfortable position. So the best thing for them to do is be crabs in the bucket that drag the other crab back down into the bucket. And that's really what they try to do. So keep that in mind. And I don't necessarily think it's like you were saying here, it's like, how do I build a social circle if people are envious? I don't think it's necessarily because they're envious. I think it's because they want to see predictability in you, because that's how they used to control you, or that's how they used to predict you. And so now you're unpredictable. You're not, you're not as reliable. You're not as dependable. I mean, not to up here. I mean, you might just be as loyal and dependable as you've always been, but they don't want to have to consider what you're going through. So they'll say, who hurt you? Why are you so bitter? Oh, you're getting over an ex, blah, blah, that every rationale they can possibly throw out there. You're not really like this. No, I really am. And that's what's really going to scare you the most.